So now the seed is planted. She's went to the doctor. Now she's thinking. She has a thought in her mind, but she knows Minister Brent, or as let me say, Minister Brent, and she calls Minister Brent. Minister Brent starts praying for her. As she starts praying for her, she still don't want to go to church yet, but the seed is planted, and she starts moving around, and she go to work and start talking to Brother Nathan. Child, I'm pregnant. I can't believe it. I went to the doctor and ran into this man. I went to see telling me about Jesus. I called my friend. He told me I was in sin. Then God now puts her with Brother Nathan. Brother Nathan again starts telling her about Jesus Christ. She's everything is pushing her, and finally, before you know it, she has made her way to church. Why? Because of the plan of God. The seed was planted. Let's do this thing all over again. Go back down here. Let me give you another scenario. Lord, I need a house. God sent you to the puppy dog store. He said, go get a puppy. You're going to be the puppy dog man. He's selling puppies. When you get there, you start talking about, I'm getting this puppy because I want a house. Guess what? There's a man that does loans. And when you start talking, before you know it, God is and you say, oh, okay, and you start talking amongst one another, and before you know it, you got your connection, you got your hookup. Didn't get a dog. Didn't get a dog. But I went to get a dog and I got what I needed because I listened to the fact that it's not always, y'all need to stop demoralizing and bringing everything to a natural, because sometimes God is working supernaturally. You thinking you're going to get a dog, but the whole time God's setting up your house. So you go talk to her about your house, ain't got no money, ain't got no fancy car, ain't got the life of a millionaire or a movie star, so she ain't got no money. But she's talking. And she's just talking, and she's talking, and before you know it, somebody tells about a home buy program. See, because God, as you start walking out purpose, you can't help but naturally progress to the next place. See, but you have to make the first move. Everything sets off an action. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Everything you do in the natural is pushing a spiritual force. It's pushing the spirit. It's either drawing you in faith or pushing you away in fear. See, she went to go get a dog. She don't have no place to put no dog. Especially like no bull mastiff like I want. And she in a little bitty old apartment. She wants a little bitty old apartment. But because she started walking through the process, she talks, he meets up, sets her up. Before you know, she don't even know what house she wants. But because she has been walking through purpose, boyfriend had to leave her. You know, because he was spending she was bailing him out of jail too much. So the Lord knocked him up. Lord, please get him out, Jesus. I love him, Lord, get him out. But the Lord said, you want a house, right? See, you can't have it your way. This ain't Burger King. See, God knows how to move you. And so God had to move some people out of her life. Some people she thought she wanted. Some people you thought you needed. God, the whole plan was put off in the place. And you're like, oh, everything is going wrong at one time. No, everything is going right. Y'all can take y'all seat. Touch somebody and say everything's going right. God gave her a thought about a dog that wound up in the house. Yeah, she had to lose some people, but you got to know when you start walking out the plan of God, all right, there's already things that automatically got to happen. Paul closes out this section with confidence. this section of confidence with a celebration of optimism. He moves us towards a hope. He moves us to a future manifestation and a magnification of the cross. Paul doesn't say I'm confident in my job. He doesn't say I'm confident in my marriage. But he says I am confident in the cross. How do you know that, Pastor Higgins? Look at verse 31. After he begins to talk about the fact that all things work together and God has justified us and God has set us aside and he has predestined us and called us, he asks us a question, and he says, what then shall we say? That word, will we say, right there means that's a future tense. It means it ain't happened yet. But he says, I understand in life I'm going to run up into some things that are going to try to block my purpose. Right. He said, what shall we then say in the future when I run into situations that I can't face? He says, if God is for us, then who in my future can stand up against me? He who did not spare, look what he says, his own son, but God delivered him over for us. How will he not freely give us all things? So you got to understand, you got to learn how to look not always at your current position. But you have to begin to see the fact that after you have discovered who you are and have understanding and have a confidence, you have to begin to move to a place where you start looking towards the future. And you have to begin to start saying, I'm going to run into some stuff. But what is it that I'm going to run into that I'm going to allow to separate me? I just want to run you and tell you, you gon' make it. I got a prophesy. He already paid the price. Tell somebody you coming through. I know it hurts right now, but he was wounded for your transgression. Cause I'm an entity that chastisement of my people was upon him, and by his stripes I'm healed. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. Might have to crawl, but I'm gonna make it. Might have to miss her, but I'm gonna make it. Might lose her, but I'm gonna make it. I am. Children will not die in the world. Why? Because the word says he's going to save my children. Give me a little bit more volume here. But somebody needs to understand you got to start walking